What improved your quality of life so much, you wish you did it sooner?
You young kids will think this crazy, but I am glad to have gotten older. All those things that worried me when I was in my 20s just don't matter anymore. I'm 67 now and much happier.
Totally agree. 53-year woman here. A hottie in my youth. The relief and freedom with not feeling like my worth is dependent on my looks is palpable. I stopped dyeing my hair during quarantine and now I have this wild silver streak in the front that I love. I think I'm going to grow it long again and fully rock the witch vibe. Why? 'Cause I'm old enough to no longer give a poo about other people's judgment. Also a lot of more substantial lessons about life and living and death.
Learning to get over myself. Nobody cares what I do, nobody is looking at me, and why should I care if they are? Nobody outside my circle has enough context to make accurate judgments about how I live, so why am I trying so hard to justify my decisions? As soon as I adopted that mindset, being alive got significantly less pooty. I do my best to be a decent person and to take care of myself, and the only opinions I care about are mine, my partner's, and my therapist's.
Permanently placed my phone on Do Not Disturb, allow calls from contacts. This one change saved me from constant disruptive unwanted calls. Life is good on No Ring Lane.
I did something similar. I turned off push notifications for pretty much every app.
Breathing exercises. Focusing on really deep exhales. After about 10 minutes my whole outlook for the day changes.
I went back to find this comment, I read this and thought I'd try it. I didn't think I'd even make it 10 minutes. A half hour later I felt almost high off oxygen. I'm writing to let you know that I feel much calmer now. Thanks for the breath of fresh air.
Cutting out toxic friends. After years of knowing someone, it can be hard to see that they are no longer the person they were when the relationship started. My childhood best friend grew into a manipulative, selfish prick. For years I hung out with him almost every day after work and always felt miserable afterwards. Everyone around me questioned why I still spent time with him. I always made excuses that seem ridiculous in hindsight. I should have cut ties 10 years ago.
I am struggling with making this transition. One of my best friends growing up is honestly an immensely selfish person today. It pains me knowing that when I make this next change there is a real possibility that they will pretty much stop existing in my life. I know it has to happen because it would be best for me, but the fear of losing an old friend is crippling. The reality is they are already lost and I need to move on for my own well-being. Edit. I would just like to thank you all for your kind words. Change is a good thing and I know I will be better off for it. The insights and perspectives I am seeing from you all are really giving me hope for a better outcome. I don't want this person to disappear from my life, but I can't deal with them not putting any effort in anymore. Here's to healthy future friendships.
Yoga. I'm an old guy, and discovered it at age 56 in 2005. By now I'm still not terribly proficient, but yoga has kept me limber. More importantly, it has been amazing for improving my peace of mind. Whenever somebody asks why I practice yoga, I reply, for peace of mind. Buying a good knife for cooking.
Getting my finances in order. It's life on easy mode now.
Independent blankets for my wife and I in bed. Incredible how much better you sleep when there's no waking up with blankets pulled half off or using one that's too heavy or too light. I'd highly recommend for anyone that sleeps with a significant other. Edit. Holy cow, this blew up. Thanks for the awards.
We are setting up 2 twin beds head to head. He has nerve damage and twitches in the night. We also are opposites on the hot and cold scale. I think this will let us hold hands and talk but have our own micro-environment.
Buying a wardrobe of good quality, properly fitting clothing that I actually like. Agonizing over what to wear every morning because this doesn't fit properly. This one has a stain. I just wore that yesterday. I don't like how this sits on my body, would start my day off very badly. Edit. Thank you so much for the awards. I really appreciate it.
For me the big thing was realizing that the size I buy doesn't matter. It's how it fits. I have some tops that are a size S, I have some tops that are an XL. Who the hell cares what size is on the label? Don't stick to one size because that's your size. If you like something, try on different sizes and find out which suits you best.
Hiking in the mountains. Nothing makes me feel more at peace and excited at the same time.
Flossing. I never saw the dentist as a kid, and no one really pushed me to or cared about my dental health.
As an older Redditor who had poor dental hygiene growing up, keep it. Getting old sucks as it is, but it's even worse when you have a problem that could have been avoided. Bought a cart that carries my groceries from the car to my apartment. No more trying to carry 5 bags in each hand.
I read this as if the cart is automated and takes them by itself, but I don't think it's what you meant. If it is, then where do I buy one?
I got it at Ace Hardware for around $40, and they assembled it for me. Automating simple yet time-consuming tasks, like Excel macros. You wouldn't realize how much time you save beforehand, but it sure does save heaps.
Excel is a huge part of my work. Where do I learn this stuff? Thank you.
Well, I picked up the most from my internships and early analyst days, but that's because I had prior coding background. I once worked in software development, QA. I was told from recent recruits that they've learned macro and VBA from YT or LinkedIn learning tutorials. You could also ask your firm whether they provide these type of skill training.
Roomba. OMG, not having to sweep dog, cat hair daily is such a blessing. Edit. Lots of replies. It's 4:30 a.m. I'm on my phone instead of PC. Thanks for the awards. To answer the more obvious questions. It's an iRobot Roomba 694. It has not sucked up dog poop, but it cleaned up cat vomit, only leaving a little on the floor. Like a mop or spray and rag would need to be used anyway. The dirt tray has a microfilter and a collection area. You push one button and it comes out and you dump it in the trash. It does get under my dining room table because it just barely fits through the chair legs. It does get stuck in my cabinet, but I have it running when I'm usually home for lunch and can save it. It works on hard surfaces and carpets. Mine does not map the room that I'm aware of. It does not have a forward sensor at all, just bumps into things and senses that way. That's all.
Real talk, I don't know a single damn person with pets who has one, and I need an objective opinion. Does that poo really pick up all the cat hair? I've got 4 fuzzy beasts at home and I really do want a little vacuum 2D2, but I could not convince myself to drop the cash on one only for it to struggle to keep up. How frequently do you have to maintain it?
Maintain? You mean empty the tray? Because of the amount of hair, I try to do it every run. The first time you run it, you'll have to clean it out 3 to 4 times as it runs. My cat and dog shed like crazy, and yes, it picks it up very well. It also pushes the cat's toys under the couch, though LMAO.
43Y0. Started exercising regularly again. 4x a week. Forget the physical benefits for a minute, the mental benefits outweigh the gains, all day.
This is exactly why I finally took up exercise. I've never considered myself a fitness girl by any means, but last winter my mental health took such a hit that I had to try something, and I liked it so much I'm still sticking with it. Edit. Wow, thanks for the awards. For anyone interested, I use the Fit On app. There's all kinds of cool workouts and it's free.
I stopped caring, not everyone is gonna like you, all you need to do is like yourself.
Quitting smoking. I couldn't imagine life without it back then. But man, is life better without a constant need like that, not to mention all the health benefits.
Me too. I can walk and run and go upstairs without wheezing now.
I like being able to laugh without coughing, too.
Eating healthy. It's amazing after you realize how much you feel like poo after you just took down a double cheeseburger, extra large fries, and a large Coke, but at the time, you don't realize it and just think, you're tired. Good eating habits and exercising changed my life.
Seeing a therapist. My dad died when I was 16 and I never saw or really talked to anyone about it till I was in my 30s. So many years wasted being angry and sad.
How did you go about finding a therapist who matched you?
Moving out of my parents' house.
Sobered up. 2 years.
Taking vitamin D supplements and getting a therapy lamp for the winter. Holy poo, does it make a difference. I realized after my first year of university that the reason I didn't do well in the winter semester was because I was feeling depressed and exhausted due to lack of sunlight. I live in Canada, so the days are way shorter in winter. So when you leave before the sun rises, get home after it sets and wear a coat all day so your skin is exposed to no sunlight, you miss a lot of vitamin D. So I take vitamin D supplements each morning to make up for what I'm missing, and I use a therapy lamp to simulate sunlight in the morning. You feel way more energized and awake during the day. I would highly recommend it to anyone who feels exhausted in winter. P.S. If you're interested in a therapy lamp, look up SAD lamp or seasonal affective disorder lamp. Edit, wow, thanks for the award. Edit 2, awards asterisk.
I take a bunch of vitamins, but all could be bullpoo except vitamin D. It's the only one I notice if I don't take it. Good stuff and cheap.
Sleeping when I'm sleepy.
Instructions unclear, fired from work.
Working remotely. Spending money on gas, parking, clothes, etc. Just not worth it for most of my pre-remote working life.
Cutting out alcohol. I don't criticize anyone who drinks, but I was a problem drinker. Stopping that cycle improved everything about my life.
I quit just over 8 months ago. I don't feel terrible every morning, I have way less anxiety, I'm a better dad. Just happier overall.
It steals more from us more than we realize, doesn't it? I remember when it was fun and harmless. My relationship with it just took a terrible turn around 33 of a year old.
Working from home in IT. This environment and industry fit me like a glove.
WFH is amazing. I can't imagine ever wanting to commute for work again. No more losing time, money and sleep. I love having ownership over my schedule.
Giving up the hormonal contraceptive pill. I don't feel crazy anymore. Cold sweat smile.
Haha, I was going to say the opposite. Taking hormonal birth control continuously instead of skipping the last week so I can ditch my period altogether changed my life. Mood swings and migraines are so much better now. Bodies are funny things.
Deleting all the people from high school I don't see anymore from social media.
I did this too. Was one of my best decisions. Social media has never been a kind place for me. I was very shy and self-conscious, but at some point I started just living how I wanted. I already wasn't popular, so what was I risking? Girls still wouldn't be interested? I guess I just started doing things I'd been afraid to do before, including being more outgoing. I know this sounds like generic advice, but it really worked for me. Every time your brain says, no, that wouldn't work out, or, no, what would people think, or any other version of, no, don't try, it's a perfect opportunity to do something you feel drawn to. Dye your hair pink. Try painting even though you know you'll suck at it. Fart and then say, it was me. Okay, maybe not the last one.
How do you shut out that self-conscious voice that thinks it knows the outcome of every situation? There's always something telling me why I shouldn't or can't do something I'm scared of.
Honestly, I had to be wrong 1,000 times before I convinced my brain to stop that. But it helps to choose how you think about something, instead of letting your stupid brain default to pessimism. I do things just to see what happens, like I'm planting 50 seeds and maybe some will grow.
Committing myself to a mental hospital and subsequent treatment.
Letting my pride and ego take hits. I used to have been such a me person in my early life. When I allowed myself to be taken down a peg or two, I started having new perspectives on life and people around me. Edit. I don't have words. Thanks so much.
It's a great lesson for young people. If you're wrong about something, don't double down on it, just admit fault, learn, and keep it moving. We all make mistakes, let's quit pretending we're somehow better than everybody else. Edit. I didn't mean to imply that only young people need to learn this. I just meant it's how we prevent future adults from being insufferable. Edit 2. Damn, so many rewards, thanks. It's just common sense though.
Learning to be okay with saying no, and starting off all relationships, personal and professional, with healthy boundaries. You don't ever need an excuse to say no to if you don't want to do something. Don't feel like going out with friends that night? No thank you. Don't want to work an extra shift at your place of employment if it's not mandatory? No thanks, boss. Boundaries are amazing, and when set from the beginning, they are much easier to maintain for your own mental well-being. Edit. Well, this has become my highest upvoted comment. Thanks to everyone who responded with stories related to boundary setting, and stay strong if you still struggle with this.
Agree. And to add to this, a big thing is actually just saying no rather than avoiding the situation by not confronting it. I remember on my mid-20s when my social life started to change, people just getting busier or getting married, etc. I can't even begin to tell you how many invites to hang out or when I asked if someone could do something I just got ignored. One time a friend said she wouldn't respond to invites if she didn't want to go, and I'm just like, do you have any idea how bad people feel when they're just ignored? Seriously, it crushed me when people just didn't respond or blew off my invites. I stopped inviting them to do things and friendships fizzled out. However, I do remember the people who would say things like, this weekend doesn't work for me, let me know about next time. Or, I don't really like hiking but thanks for the invite.
Losing 200 pounds. Edit, lol. You guys had fun with this. To answer everyone's question I meant weight. Former 397-pound fat chic here. Never even seen a British pound. Lost the 200 on my own through diet and exercise. Then about 24 pounds of excess skin had to be removed surgically.
Someone give this man his 200 pounds back. Weary.
Starting antidepressants. I literally am a different person than I used to be, in a good way. I feel more confident in myself, more caring about other people while still having very defined boundaries. Life-changing.
Throwing out all my socks and buying a single type. No more looking for pairs.
Tried this. Was great short term, but my washer-dryer broke. Started using a public laundromat, and somehow not only am I losing socks, but I am gaining other socks I've never seen before. I think the damn dryers are eating, regurgitating other socks, and it's super annoying, lol.
Getting your teeth fixed. Edit. Thanks for the awards, kind strangers.
I'm ready to get my teeth fixed for good, and spend all my savings doing it. But my father is holding me up trying to find a cheaper alternative. He doesn't understand how much of an impact it has on my self-esteem. I'm almost going behind his back and just doing it. Edit. OMG, I wasn't expecting so much support. Thank you guys so much for all the advice. I'm not from the US, I'm currently living in Portugal, but I'm actually Brazilian. I'll analyze the better option. Travel to Brazil and get it done. Much cheaper and equal or even better quality, or just doing it here for convenience.
LASIK. Best $4,000 I ever spent on myself.
It's actually amazing how much more energy and satiation I get from homemade unsweetened oatmeal versus the stuff from the packet.
Selling my house. Don't get me wrong, home ownership is great at times. But I was drowning in debt, and selling the place allowed me to reset my entire life. A huge weight was lifted from my shoulders overnight. Also, no more mowing the lawn. Drinking more water. Edit. Thank you everyone for the awards and upvotes.
When I got my first real job, I still had no money. The options for something to drink at work were either paying for a soda or water, which was free. One day of drinking water all day, no coffee, no soda, just water, and I had this, holy poo. I've just been thirsty for the past 25 years, moment, and I never looked back. Water. Or beer. That's it.
Exercise.
God damn it, there it is. I never want it to be here, but it always is.
Running.
When did you finally decide to stop?
Accepting at 28 that I was a very emotional guy and letting myself cry whenever I needed to. I swear I cried constantly for about a year straight. As if catching up on all the feelings I repressed my whole life. However, it tapered off about a year ago and it kinda sucks. It's as if I literally grew thicker skin through truly allowing myself to feel the painful things I felt, and it's become increasingly difficult to cry like I used to. It felt really good to just let everything out.
F yeah brother. I was 28 when I realized that poo myself. I also realized I'm a romantic motherfucker. There's good things to being more sensitive.
Fixing my relationship with food. Portion sizes. Decimating junk food intake back where it should be, a rare treat. Increasing veggie intake. Limiting red meat. Limiting dairy. Limiting refined sugars. I haven't actually stopped anything 100% cold turkey, chocolate, crisps, candy, takeout etc. cold turkey, in that I don't punish, scorn myself for buckling and having some, but I've just wound it back completely. It's been a major contributor of why I'm minus 20 kilograms than I was in January 2021.
Yoga. Getting my ADHD treated. Zinc and magnesium supplements. SLS-free toothpaste so I don't get mouth ulcers anymore. Treat Your Own Neck, and Treat Your Own Back, books that fixed my chronic neck and back problems. Edit. Many people have asked me about the neck and back books, so here's a link. Link. Edit number 2. This is a good resource for adult ADHD self-screening. Link. If you want to seek treatment for ADHD, get a recommendation from someone who's being successfully treated by a doctor who's good at it. IMHO. A good ADHD doctor will do blood tests to check a bunch of things: zinc, magnesium, iron, VD, K and B groups for starters, before prescribing medications. I cut my mother out of my life a few years ago, and I wish I had done it as soon as I moved out, just as I did to my father. My life has been so much better since she hasn't been in it. I feel better about myself, I'm not being treated badly, and I can do what I want without fearing judgment. I'm glad I never reconciled, either. From what I hear from siblings, she hasn't changed a bit. She still has to be right all the time, she still lies about poo, and she still pulls authoritarian bullpoo. I've pretty much written her off. She has 7 years left to come to me, apologize for the nasty poo she did, take responsibility for aforementioned actions, and prove she has changed or is in the process. But if she doesn't do that within the next 7 years, there's no way in hell I'd reconcile with her. Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.